You know me, I'm Daisy and I'm a co-founder of the Hype House. By the title of this video, you probably already know what I'm about to talk about, and I don't want to talk about this, but I do feel like I should. I wanted to speak to you directly because I feel like it's important for you to hear how I feel coming from me and not from a middleman, not from saying, oh, Daisy said this, they said that, this is how she feels, and just like assume. I wanted you to hear it directly from me, and I feel like it's a little bit more personal, and now no one can assume how I feel because I'm about to tell you everything from my perspective down to how I feel, the actual situation that happened, what I've learned from it, and I'm just gonna completely express myself on here. And before I get started, I do want to say that I genuinely love and care about everyone in the Hype House. I wish them the best and I wish them true happiness. And when it comes down to it, I know that everyone has a good heart, but I feel like it's really easy to get caught up in the LA life, especially when you're so new to it, kind of like everyone in the Hype House, and you're so young. I want to say that I will not be speaking about this on social media again. I don't want it to turn into a big trail of tweet after reaction video. Like, this is everything that happened from my perspective, and this is how I feel, and that is that. As you all know, Thomas is another co-founder of the Hype House. He is considered the Hype House manager. And a little background on me and Thomas: we were very good friends before we even started this whole thing together. We met at the Team 10 house, and he asked me if I wanted to do a photo shoot, so we did like a little collaboration photo shoot. And shortly he got let go from Team 10 and he needed money and a job. I said, look, I'll hire you as my full-time photographer and editor. I spent countless hours trying to help this kid change his mindset. It used to be very, very negative, and I would talk to him about positivity and law of attraction and what you put out is what you get back. And I was just trying to help him because I wanted him to find true and genuine happiness, and if I could help or contribute to that in any way, I want to do so because he was my friend and I believed in him, and I thought that he was a genuine person who's just been fucked over. It just kind of shows you like how close of friends we were. Like, we hung out almost every single day, we told each other everything. Like, he was my best friend. Shortly after building this friendship, he started to talk about the idea of a content house. And at this time, he just met Chase. He did like a photo shoot for him on a Carlsbad to meet up with Alex and Cobra and their whole crew. And Chase had an Airbnb in LA, and we all met up there and we all hung out and we all vibed, and we're like, yeah, like we really should take this whole content house thing seriously. So we started looking at like Zillow and all the home rental websites, and we found the house that we're at now, the Hype House, and we contacted the realtor. We met with him. He told us that the deposit was gonna be $46,000, and I remember like it wasn't even a question in my mind. Like, I believed in the idea so much. I was like, you know, I'm gonna put as much down as I can. Chase had some money. We each put down $18K. Thomas put down about $5K, and Alex and Cobra put about $5K as well. And I remember sitting in the car with Thomas and Chase, and we literally had all of our money together, and it was like this giant wad of cash. Like, it was I think that was like the most money I've ever seen in person. And Chase actually filmed a TikTok with that, of him like wiping his tears with the money. Like, that was the exact day that we put down the deposit for this house. We all invested that money for this idea. We knew that we needed a big enough house to be able to have everyone stay in and live and actually collaborate. So we moved in, we started the social medias, they blew up. We started getting lots of attention from the press, and New York Times came to do an interview. And keep in mind, this is my very first like in-person interaction with the press. There was a full-on production team, microphones, literal interviewers with their laptops, and they're typing, and I was like, this is really intimidating. Like, being 20 years old and not having like a manager there with me, kind of like Chase had. Like, I had no idea to speak up and to say that I was a co-founder. I kind of already assumed that Thomas and Chase would have given the other co-founders, not even just myself, but the other co-founders credit, because out of integrity, that's just what you do. And during the New York Times interview, Thomas and Chase just completely took over. And I know that Chase's manager was like really pushing him to speak up and to make it known that he's a co-founder, which I think is very important, and it's very smart of her. And I wish even that I had someone telling me to go get some recognition, because I know that I deserved it. I put down $18,000 plus my own platform. I just kind of kept my mouth shut the entire interview, didn't try to take any recognition, and just left it to Thomas and Chase. And looking back, I really wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have been strong enough and set an example for other female co-founders who are afraid to take the recognition because they're such powerful men. And being said, I was really intimidated and didn't speak up. I should have been a boss-ass bitch at the time and known what I brought to the table and spoke up, but I'm doing it now, and that's all that matters. Down the line, we had a few other press interviews that I was not there for, and I expected, again, out of integrity, that Thomas would speak up about the other co-founders, because I already mentioned it to him prior to that I thought it was a little bit messed up that no one else was giving credit. Like, I was defending the other co-founders as well, not even just myself, but I confronted him. I thought that we solved the issue. He still didn't speak up, and that was like a little bit like of a red flag. It felt like a little bit like manipulation. It was just like telling me whatever I need to hear to get me to shut up. And then I get a call from my lawyer slash manager, and he told me, Daisy, aren't you a co-founder? Why you weren't given any recognition at all? All these news articles are saying that Thomas and Chase are the ones that started it, that Chase put down all of the money. I can literally pull up like receipts of me and Chase paying the same exact amount, and Thomas paying $5,000, Alex and Cobra paying $5,000 as well. And you want to tell me that Chase put down all the money? Like, does that just mean that my $18,000 that Thomas didn't have or Chase have just meant nothing? That all of us deserve recognition, not just Thomas and Chase. And I'm so just disappointed and just like confused, and I feel so lied to that they wouldn't speak up and give credit to everyone that helped. Like, y'all didn't start this on your own. Okay, anyways, moving on, back to the story. I spoke up to Thomas after hearing about the other articles, and I was like, we already talked about this. Why didn't you give me credit and all the other co-founders credit? He said, well, you weren't there. And I was like, again, out of integrity, I would have expected you to speak up. And we just had a conversation before this, and you're like, yeah, you're right. You guys do deserve credit. Like, I didn't do this on my own. Like, it was all a team effort. But to social media, he's making it look like it was just him. So at this point, this is when Thomas started to do really sketchy shit. He wouldn't give access to any of the emails. There was no transparency at all. We had no idea what brand deals were coming, if they were actually just a product for exposure collaboration, and we had no idea if they were paid or not. He claims the Hype House has made no money, yet he's bragging about an $8,000 Cartier bracelet he just bought, a $10,000 cat. He's talking about buying a new Tesla. The Hype House hasn't made any money. Then how do you have all this stuff? Like, it's just a little bit fishy. I'm not saying it has made anything, because I don't know. I have no access to those emails, and he won't give it up. But I'm just putting the pieces together. He also wouldn't give access to the Instagram account, and on the Instagram account, they only follow who is a part of the Hype House, and Thomas is the only one with full control over that. A trend that I'm starting to notice is he loves to have power. He loves to be able to tell people what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. It's starting to feel like a fucking dictatorship in this house, in a house that he barely even paid for. From my knowledge, when it comes to multiple people owning a business, like together, you're supposed to talk about decisions that are being made. You're supposed to talk about where money is going to go. You're supposed to have full transparency, but there was none. He had all the socials attached to his email, so he had full control over everything. Full control of what everything looked like to the media. Also, another red flag that I noticed is he also came up to me and asked me to manipulate one of the bigger creators that was thinking about joining, and he said, can't you just go act like you're her best friend, that way she wants to be a part of this, like she needs to feel welcome, and like she has friends here. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wow, I didn't even know Thomas had the heart to do that. Like, Like, I knew he was fully capable of manipulation because he's very intelligent. He's a very, very smart kid. But I didn't know his morals were so loose to actually go and do that to someone. And he was asking me to do this to this girl. I'm not going to mention who because that's not my place. And I thought, you know, maybe he's doing this to me. If he's gonna tell me to go do it to someone else, he must be doing it to me. Yet this entire time, I would defend him to my friends and be like, no, like, you know, he's just really stressed. He has so much on his plate. Like, he's one of my best friends. I know he'd never purposely leave me out or screw me over. And my friends were like, Daisy, you're being fucked over right now. And I just completely believe Thomas because we're such close friends. I've done so much for him and vice versa that he was the last person I'd expect to act shady and shit. I actually started to feel like no one had any say over anything. I remember this one time, one of the other co-founders, I'm not going to mention who again because that is not my place. They can speak up if they want. One of the other co-founders found out about another press opportunity. And the other co-founder said, Thomas, I think this is a really great opportunity. I really, really want to do this. And he said, no, the press keeps making me look bad. It makes me look like I'm forcing people to make videos. And co-founder said, Thomas, I really want to do this. I think it's a great opportunity for my brand, for the Hype House brand, for everything. And Thomas says, well, it's not your decision because I'm making all the decisions around here. And the kid slammed his laptop and went upstairs. And keep in mind, he was also a co-founder. Why does Thomas have the say to tell us what to do, how to do it, and when to do it? We can't ever have any group decisions. Like, everything is him. Like, he somehow has authority over everything. And he has that because he is the only one with access to all the social media accounts, to the emails. Really, from the outside looking in, everything about the Hype House on our social media is because Thomas is posting it. None of us have say over anything. He also started making decisions that I was legally liable for because I am on the lease of this place. So I became very uncomfortable, and this is when I really started to like speak my mind and to stand up for myself. Once I was really putting in my input, Thomas slowly started to cut me out of things, telling me when certain events were just completely cutting me out of it. So, like a mature person, I directly went to him and spoke up again. And I said, Thomas, like, why are you leaving me out of this? Like, I am also a co-founder. I should be making these decisions with you as well as all the other co-founders. I said, I feel like you're purposely trying to cut me out. And he said, I'm so sorry you feel that way. Like, that's not my intent at all. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you're right. You deserve just as much credit as I do. Like, he was saying that to my face. And then I found out to my lawyer slash manager, he was also trying to like he was also trying to give his input to provide like a little bit of internal structure for the Hype House. And Thomas said to him, he's like, you know what, I'm just more of a businessman, and like girls like Daisy, she's just like another hot Instagram model with a shelf life. We're talking about a kid that was my best fucking friend. I gave him a fucking job when he was fired and had no money. And like a mature person who cares about a friendship, I directly went to Thomas again and I said, did you say this about me? He's like, no, you know me, like, we're such close friends, like, you know I'd never do this to you, blah, blah, just completely manipulating me. So I was like, I gotta play it cool at this point. Like I gotta like really start to like strategize and like figure out what's going on. I gotta start allocating my percentage in this company. Some sketchy shit is happening. I feel like I'm about to be cut out. And I filed for the trademark. One, none of us already have, and it was gonna get taken and we wouldn't be able to sell merch or anything. So I filed for it. I let Thomas know. He tried to tell me that I filed for it incorrectly, just trying to find any way to degrade me, to make me feel like I'm not a smart businesswoman and that he knows what he's doing. And I'm like, what do you mean? In general, like, you would think if he was such a businessman, he would know to file these goddamn trademarks right away. And I've had so many countless conversations with him about creating internal structure, and this will flop if we don't have a strong foundation on the business side of things. And he kept agreeing, saying, I know. Like, for some reason he was putting it off, like putting off creating a board and having board meetings with all the co-founders. He was just cutting me out of everything. I don't know, maybe behind my back they had that, and for some reason they didn't want me to be a part of it. But where's the transparency, bro? So at this point, I started messaging him about my percentage. He kept ignoring me. I had my lawyer reach out to him multiple times. He ignored my lawyer. So I was just really confused. I was like, wait a minute, this entire time, Thomas has been saying, I agree with you. You deserve a big stake in this company. You've brought a lot to it. And now all of a sudden he's ignoring me when the time comes for us to allocate percentages. So I go back home to the Hype house and I walk in and there's this huge music video production. Me being on the lease, you would think he would have to get my permission or at least bring it up to me, but he didn't. He claims he put it in the group text, but you still need to go to all the people on the lease and let them know what is going on and if it's okay with them. I go in my room and it is swarmed with people and clothing racks, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? I had no idea. So I confronted Thomas and I was like, yo, like, what is happening here? You didn't even tell me about this. Like, I don't get it. Why do you think that you can do this? He's like, what do you mean? I put it in the group text. I'm like, okay, one, you never said the date of when it's gonna happen. Two, you need to go to all the leaseholders and let them know. You also need to talk to the landlord about hosting a music video shoot. I confronted him about that. I also confronted him about my percentages. He was trying to tell me that the $18K that I put down for this business was just so a bunch of friends could live together and it has nothing to do with the Hype house. I just met these kids, keep in mind. I met them a week before we all moved in. We all put down a significant amount of money so we could have a big enough house for the Hype house. We knew that we needed enough rooms, enough space for everyone to collaborate. Why would I put down $18,000 for people I just met? It just doesn't make any sense. You know that deep in his heart, he knows the reason that we all put money down for that house was for a content house. It wasn't just so a bunch of friends could live together. We went into this knowing we were going to be in business together. So after that confrontation at the Hype house, he unfollowed me off of all social medias to make it look like I'm not a part of it anymore. He hosted a little team meeting and asked them all to unfollow me and to block me without even like, he didn't even like talk to me about this to be like, hey, yo, like you should be kicked off the team. Like he just did this. Like I don't know, and I'm a co-founder and I put my physical money that I worked my ass off for into this house. And he gets to decide that he can just kick me out. I swear, this kid is just on a power trip. Disrespected, degraded, and used. And actually, most of all, fucking disappointed. Just because it literally took my best friend to sit me down and to be like, Daisy, you are getting hosed right now. You need to speak up for yourself. It literally took my best friend to sit me down and tell me that because I kept making excuses for Thomas. I kept believing the best in him because I never thought in a million years he would do something like this to me. Now I feel like from day one, he knew that I had money and knew that we needed a big house and just used me for my money. I'm like, fuck, bro. Another fucking fake friend in LA. Dope. All because I decided to speak up and stand up for myself. I was completely cut off. I am one of the only people in the house who actually stuck up for themselves. And I get cut out. This is why people in his house are afraid to speak up and to stand up for what they believe in. Because they're just going to be cut out of it after all the hard work they've already put into it. Because we don't have any access to the socials. And he controls what the media sees and what they think of us. And look, in the grand scheme of things, after like thinking about it for a while, obviously I get pretty like passionate and heated when I think about being fucked over by one of my best friends. In the end, when it comes down to it, I forgive him. I know I get very heated and passionate about this in this whole entire video, you guys, but I truly do. When it comes down to it, deep down in my heart, I forgive. I forgive. I do also want to share what I've learned from this experience because I kind of want to, you know, end on a positive note, just kind of like leave this chapter behind and move on to the next and learn and take what I can from it. And I wanted to really express myself and open up to you guys, because it is really, really hard for me to open up to people. Especially when you have thousands, millions of people watching you. It's really scary to truly be yourself and to open up about things that are actually affecting your mental health right now. Like, that's really scary for me. So the first thing I've learned is to listen to red flags. Listen to your intuition. It is always right, and if you don't listen to it, shit will hit the fan. It reinstated inside of me how important it is to stick up for myself and to stand up for my beliefs, and hopefully that sets an example for other people. I also learned that when it comes down to business, dial down your percentage in the company before you contribute your assets. I just want to fully express myself and let you know like how I'm feeling currently about this situation. I'm honestly like really scared that this is gonna put me in my shell even more with new faces, because I've been burned by so many friends and I've always had the purest intentions. And just as I was starting to open myself up and express myself more and to realize that not everyone is out to get me, this happened. And now I'm afraid it's gonna set me back. But I feel like since I'm aware, I can stop myself from going even further back into my shell and find a happy medium in between trusting people completely and just cutting all human connection off. Do you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for showing me and teaching me to stand up for myself and teaching me to have the balls to be an example for younger women in the business world. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that, because that's what I've taken from this the most. I've learned so much about business and to not let people walk all over you. So I appreciate you, man. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's my story. I just wanted to express myself and be completely honest and transparent. Thank you so much for watching this entire video. If you did, I know it's super long. I just really, really felt the need to speak to you guys directly and not through like a middleman. So I love you. I love my supporters. Thank you for everyone who has been defending me. I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.